Hey everybody, welcome back to my channel. Hope you're all having a great day. Today I'm going to be reacting to another video by Let Me Explain Studios called Stole My Mom's Credit Card to Buy a Nintendo 64, featuring SomeThingElseYT. Now, I had a Nintendo 64 growing up. I think it was like the second video gaming console that I had. I know it's showing my age, but I don't care. Had lots of fun games for that console.
I never resorted to stealing something to get it though, so we're gonna see why Becca decided to commit theft in order to get her Nintendo 64.
So the link to the original video will be in the description below. Please like and subscribe. Without further ado, let's get watching this.
The Game Grumps played a couple episodes of Pokémon Snap while I was making my last video,
Hey, I
and
remember that
jostled a
game.
memory from my childhood.
Yeah, don't want to interrupt so early, but yeah, Pokemon Snap, I remember playing that game. It was such a crazy departure from like most of the other Pokemon games at the time, because if anyone never played it, you took pictures of the Pokemon and various like parts of this like archipelago of islands, it looked like, and you didn't capture them, you just took pictures and got points for how well the pictures were. Really different from the traditional Pokemon games where you actually have to, capture them and fight them. So it was an interesting approach. I liked it.
I played video games when I was a kid.
Ha! You and like 83 million millennials.
I didn't ask for your input, Adam. And this is about to age me dramatically because my first game console was the Sega Genesis.
Ooh. Granny, tell us the story of
Really?
classic Sonic. You know, the good Sonic.
Adam, I swear to God, as I was saying.
Okay, that was just a little bit mean. It was funny, but it was mean. Calling her Granny. I mean, I get it was a joke between fellow YouTubers and referring to the relatively old Sega console, which, by the way, I never played Sega. Never played any of the Sonic games I can remember. And if anyone's watching this and you're a Sonic fan,
Let me know in the comments below, were you a Sonic fan, and are you still a Sonic fan?
and also just jokingly calling Becca old is just kind of rude. I know recently in the Minecraft video she just made, she referred to the fact that she's 36. So right now, this should be like, what, maybe 30 when she made this video? So still,
Not remotely old. I know it's a joke, but still, a little bit rude.
My first console was the Sega Genesis. And yes, that meant I didn't grow up on Mario, I grew up on Sonic. My
Whoa.
childhood in gaming was popping a game cartridge.
Could we go back for a second?
I grew up on Sonic.
Wow. This has got to be the most, I'm trying to think of the best way to describe this. This has got to be the most bizarre yet funny cosplay of Sonic I think I've ever seen. Someone needs to do this. Next time there's a Sega cosplay, someone needs to do this. I'm guaranteed it would probably go viral on TikTok or wherever.
My childhood in gaming was popping a game cartridge in and hearing that iconic Sega, while all the other kids on the street were like,
Yeah, here we go. Yes, I'm loving this nostalgia.
Wait a minute! I'm getting ahead of myself.
Okay.
Nintendo didn't take over my life until middle school. My
Man.
I needed that nostalgia boost. I needed that little bit of serotonin boost right there. Thank you very much, Becca.
siblings and I grew up on Sega. We even had that notoriously difficult Lion King Sega game. We didn't
Alright,
beat
never
it when we
played
were
it.
kids, but in adulthood, my sister and I dusted off the cartridge one night and finally finished the game. Without
Yay.
that famous cheat code, thank you very much. Get a ladder, kids. You ain't even close to our level.
Ah, snap. Pokemon Snap.
Speaking of that, in the 6th grade, I got really into Pokemon.
Same
For my
here.
birthday, my parents got me a Gameboy Color and Pokemon Red and Blue.
That's
I
so
remember being
awesome.
so
That's actually pretty cool because I got that too when I was a kid. I was like really into it. And actually, hold on. I usually don't do this, but I'll be right back. Hang on. Check it out, guys. I actually still have my old Game Boy Color from when I was a kid. This thing is over 20 years old. And as you can see, it still works. Check out Pokemon Yellow. Going old school here. Obviously, this video is not sponsored by Nintendo by any means necessary, but you know what? It's still nice to bring this up. I found this again when I was moving a couple years ago, and so I thought I'd just play it for nostalgia. Now it has this weird glitch where if you delete the file for your game and start a new one,
It has like old, corrupted Pokemon in the PC. And if you try to interact with them, it just makes the screen go blank.
so at this point, this thing is just largely like a low-tech paperweight. But it's still part of my childhood. Is it a little bit cringe I'm holding on because I'm holding on to this thing? Maybe. Do I really care? Not really. It's not hurting anybody, so I'm probably gonna hold on to this for a while longer. So anyway, let's get back to the video.
Obsessed with that game that I would put it away before bed, go to sleep, and dream that I woke up in the middle of the night and continued playing it.
Really?
And when I actually woke up and started playing it, I would wonder why I wasn't further along. Where the hell is my Dragonite? So yeah, Pokemon was a...
Yeah. Can we acknowledge, any Pokemon fans, can we acknowledge how difficult it actually was to get Dragonite? Heck, it was difficult to get freaking Dratini. You remember how hard it was to catch one of those things? I remember one time it took me like nearly 2 hours to capture one. And it took forever to level up. So anyone out there has the patience to get to a Dragonite?
I freaking salute you.
really big deal for me. And when Nintendo announced that they were releasing the first Pokemon game for the N64, Pokemon Snap, this little weeb was all over that.
Yeah.
I went to my mom and very casually asked if she could order me Pokemon Snap.
Frantic
I
movements.
also didn't have an N64, so I was gonna need one of those too. And Mama, being the kind and doting mother that she is, said, "All right, fine." I was ecstatic.
Okay, first of all, that was a really interesting frame to pause on right there. But, it's nice to see that Becca's mom was willing to help her out. But I think there needs to be something said here. Anyone out there who has kids, I think it makes a lot of sense to not always give them everything they want just because they ask for it. I think kids need to learn a good work ethic and responsibility, because otherwise, if you just give kids whatever they want immediately, they're going to get spoiled. They're going to think that the world revolves around them.
And they're gonna grow up to be Karens. We don't need any more Karens.
So I think there needs to be a balance. You shouldn't automatically give kids what they want immediately, but you shouldn't deprive them of things either. You should just try to be practical about it, if possible.
There was, however, a slight problem, and some
What?
of you may even be too young to know what I'm talking about. But back in my day, we had this thing called dial-up. To put it
Oh,
bluntly, dial-up internet
no.
was slow with a
Ugh, dial-up. The scourge of the 90s and early 2000s. The bane of my childhood existence.
Yeah, it was so frustrating and just annoying to have to deal with it. But, back in the day, back in the 90s, early 2000s, there was nothing else. But, imagine if, kids today, like the millennials and, not the millennials, the Zers and the alphas, the really younger people today, imagine if we had to give them dial-up internet. They'd probably lose their freaking minds, because almost everything is instant gratification these days. So, sure, dial-up sucked, but at least it gave us character.
Nevertheless, websites would randomly stop
Ah,
working.
yep.
You couldn't use your landline phone while someone was online, and this.
Oh, yes, I remember that sound. Yeah.
This.
Yes. Sound of dial-up. AOL, you've got mail. Classic. It's crazy how much we've grown from that. I mean, it was like 20 plus years ago, but still. It's just crazy how fast it's progressed. Now it's like things are almost instantaneous. Websites almost always work. So it's just nuts how different it was from back in the day.
Sweet sounds of childhood. So my mom got on our family computer and went to toysrus.com. R.I.P. Jeffrey. She tried ordering the N64 and Pokemon Snap, but because the internet was terrible back then, the website wasn't working and she
Oh,
couldn't
man,
get
that
through.
sucks.
And back then, there wasn't much you could do about that except try again later. So she put away her credit card in the desk drawer and said that she would try again tomorrow.
All right.
But my little child brain was having none of that. Nuh-uh. The universe was out of order until I had my Pokemon Snap and N64 in hand. Wrongs must be righted. About an hour later, I went back to the computer when no one was around. I got online and
boy.
found Pokemon Snap and the N64. Actually, this is the first time I ever ordered anything off the internet by myself, so good job me for figuring it out. I was about to check out when I realized I'd forgotten a minor technicality. Things cost money.
Yeah.
Right. Economics. Where
Yeah, capitalism. Yeah, that's unfortunately how it works in most society. You don't, unfortunately just don't get things for free, you gotta pay for it. And here we go. Now I think the title of the video is really starting to come through. I think we all can figure out what's gonna happen next.
Am I gonna get money? And then I remembered something special had been
Yeah,
left in
here
the
we
desk
go.
drawer. Mom's credit
Oh
card.
no.
You would think that a child would be more hesitant about using their parents' credit card without
Yeah.
their permission. You know, maybe give it a second thought or work up a sweat at least. But
Yeah.
no.
Those the facial expressions perfect. But yeah, anyone out there who's a kid, please give it a thought before you steal from your parents' credit card. Actually, don't steal your parents' credit card at all. Okay? That's just really stupid. They're gonna get a notice, when they get their bill, or they're gonna get like an email saying, hey, we noticed some unusual purchases on your credit card.
Don't do it. It is not worth getting that much trouble.
I was so laser focused on Pokemon that I didn't think twice about it. It's for the greater good! What a jolly little thief I was.
Wait, you stole your mom's credit card to buy something she was already going to buy for you?
Yeah?
Could you even really call that stealing?
Good question.
Listen, I was a good kid by this age. I followed the rules, I listened to my parents, so I was operating under the same logic.
I'm pretty sure, though, it would still be classified as stealing because, you didn't ask for your mom's permission. So I think anytime you use someone else's property without explicit permission, I'm pretty sure it's classified as stealing. So yeah, that little childhood logic probably won't work in the real world legal system.
It's not stealing if she was gonna buy it anyways. To me, it felt more like problem solving.
Whatever you have
But
to
no,
tell yourself.
Go figure. Using someone's credit card without their permission under any circumstance is still considered stealing.
Okay,
And
good to know.
Not to mention, when I scroll down to select a shipping option.
Oh no.
Overnight delivery? I can have this tomorrow? Sign
Oh, no.
me up!
Oh boy, this is gonna be even worse. Like, probably whenever her mom figures this out, she's gonna see the giant bill. She's gonna know something is wrong. You could have waited, Becca. Why'd you have to get the most expensive option? I know that, when you're a kid, you don't have much of attention span. But still, it was not worth potentially getting in trouble. It just isn't.
The internet is awesome! I want to live there! And I went to bed, satisfied that I would soon be playing the greatest game ever created on the greatest console ever created. The next morning, I got up for school
hang
and
on,
Mom
what?
met me in the...
Wait, Chunky Puffs? That's like an Edda and Eddy reference, isn't it? Yeah, I know I'm showing my age by referencing that and even knowing what that cartoon is. But back in the day, it was a funny cartoon. Anybody else watching this, let me know. Did you ever watch Edda and Eddy? And what'd you think of it? Was it a good show? Did you think it sucked after a while? What do you think? Let me know in the comments.
kitchen. She told me that she would try again to get Pokemon Snap later that day.
You don't have
And
to.
me, being as naive as I was, said, don't worry, Mother. I got you covered.
Okay, yeah. If she actually said it with that tone, with the sass and the borderline arrogance, yeah, I have a feeling this probably is not gonna end well.
And also, who calls their mom mother? I mean, I don't know when that stopped being a thing, but I know for a fact I never called my mom mother. Calling your mom mother makes her seem like that she just teleported from like the 1800s. Just really, really ages someone. Please don't call your mom mother. Just call them mom. All right? Just be nice to your mom.
I already ordered it. You did what?
Oh no.
Ordered it. Was really no problem. No need to thank me. How did you pay for it? You left your credit card in the desk. You ever get one of those looks from your parents where you instantly know you messed up?
Yeah. Oh, gee. Oh. Wow. Jeez, that is just, look at the anger and rage in Mama Parham's eyes. Mama Parham is thoroughly annoyed. It's like, I maybe saw a look like this maybe once or twice in my childhood that I can remember. Yeah, the parental borderline death stare. No kid should ever have to experience this. But yeah, she is mad.
Never touch my credit card again.
You
Yes,
tell
ma'am.
her.
The cherry on top of my transgression, later that same day, when my mom picked me up from school, you had it overnighted! I had to wait 2 weeks before I could play my new game. I ended up
Whoa.
waiting longer to play.
Wow. You know, that was a very just punishment, though. 2 weeks. Because let's be honest, time seems to go by so slowly when you're a kid. And waiting for something that you technically already had for 2 weeks must have felt like waiting an eternity for young Becca. But you know, at least it probably taught her not to steal again. So hopefully that's what happened.
It than if I had just been patient from the get-go.
Mm-hmm.
Just goes to show stealing is wrong.
Yep.
And I've never stolen anything since.
Good.
Well, except maybe a few hearts.
Ooh.
Hey!
Well, guys, that was another video by Let Me Explain Studios. Pretty relatable, very funny, and filled with nostalgia. You know, let me know in the comments. Growing up, were you a Sega person or were you a Nintendo person? And do you still play video games now, or did you kind of grow out of it when you got older? And if you guys think I should react to Something Else YT videos, let me know in the comments as well. Please like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye!